Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm in the studio with Ralph and special guest, Lewis. How you doing, brother?
Good. Happy to be here. Excited.
Welcome to the podcast. Ralph, welcome back.
Yep.
What a week for football. It's been a crazy weekend. We had week 18 just finished. Playoffs are officially next week. What did you guys think of this weekend?
It was a wild one. It was definitely a wild one.
Yeah, a lot went on. I think we got most of our predictions right.
Yeah.
For most of them, so that was no surprise. But, yeah, I mean, in terms of my team, pretty rough weekend. Pretty rough.
Yep, the Bears took an L. Both of you guys, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
But it happens.
Yeah.
Let's start right away. Let's get into the Steelers against the Ravens. We knew the Steelers were going to win this game. It was easy.
And I think you mentioned it before. You're like, I sure it's the Ravens and they're powerhouse of the week 2 weeks in a row, but you called it.
Yeah, they were not going to beat the Steelers team with their backups, only because, again, they're coming into play, right? They're coming in for the playoff spot. They want to get this win. So they secured the playoff spot with the Jags loss, which was crazy. We'll get to it right now. They're in 7th seed. So they got the 7th seed. They're in the playoffs. Up next, Texans against the Colts. What did I tell you about CJ Stroud, brother?
I know you called it. Right in the beginning of the season, you're like, this guy's special.
This guy is special. CJ Stroud, did you watch him or no?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's the man. I mean, the way this man breaks the defenses.
He's been going off. That's my boy. Amazing first season. He took his team to the playoffs. He's a steal of the draft, I want to say. Bryce Young was first. He got second pick. He was picked second. And look what he did. He took his team 10-7. He's going to the playoffs in his first year. Rookie of the year, he's going to win that award. And 4th seed in the playoffs.
100%. I know.
So, and then he won the division on top of that.
On top of it, yeah.
On top of it, he
Cherry
won
on
his
top.
division. So, let's go Texans. I'm rooting for them in the playoffs. Next game, Bucks against the Panthers. This game was rough.
Yeah.
9-0. But hey, Bucks won. They secured a spot, and they won their division.
Yeah, is it me or the Panthers kind of giving? Maybe it's the Bucks who aren't playing too well, but the Panthers aren't letting in as much points as they used to.
Yeah, that's what I told you last time, and I was like, the Panthers are giving teams harder time now, like second half of the season, which is weird. Like 9-0.
How do you see this, Lewis? Do you think the Panthers are making some improvements, or?
I mean, compared to the beginning of the season, I think they have made some improvements. I was actually pretty excited when I would see their games a lot because I would follow them because of obviously like sports betting, and I was like following like Adam Thielen, a couple of players. But now I think the progress, they're much better. Although I do want to give credit, if we're focusing on that game, Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
For me, that's the comeback player of the year. Player. I think he was in like 4 teams in a year.
Yeah.
And, he had to move around, and then he gets to the Bucks, and this man literally gets into the playoffs. So I think Baker has something there. So
Yeah, he finally proved why he was a first draft pick.
Yeah.
He came to play at the end of the season. He was looking hot. They had took a bad L last weekend against the Saints, but look at him. He got him to the playoffs. Now he needs to wake up because they struggled the last 2 games.
Yeah.
To win 9-0 against the last place again, and to get blown by the Saints. All right, up next, Ralph, our boys, the Jags.
Dude,
These guys are frauds, dude.
Dude, last time I picked the Jags to win last time, and I'm like, this is the last time. If they lose, this is the last time I'm picking them.
Yep, that's what we said.
And they won. They won, and I'm like, okay, they have to win. They're like, okay, they win. Maybe they got their morale a little bit up. This game is super important.
Yep.
I don't see them losing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, I'm seeing this game live, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah. I was at work, and every time I turn around and see the game on the screen, touchdown Titans. I'm like, dude, they are just running through the Jags.
I know. You could see Trevor Lawrence's frustration, right? You could just see him, and it's like, man, what a season for the Jaguars. It's such a dip.
Yeah,
such a dip for them, and I really hate to see it.
Yeah, I remember that one time we talked. They were 8-3, right, at one point. So the Jags look great. They're looking good. They are a playoff contender team as of that moment. Then they let us down after this loss and the other loss, not last week but the one before. They don't deserve this playoff at all. They don't deserve to make it. So I'm happy they didn't make it because they let us down every single game.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at some analysis, and it talked about I forget in what week they had a 35% chance of making the playoffs, and then at some point they were almost at the 90%.
Yeah,
and now they're out, and the Texans are in, and it's what a drop, a roller coaster ride for the
Jaguars. No, seriously. All right, so Jags lost, officially eliminated. See you guys next year. Still not voting for you guys next year. Okay, up next, a game that was crucial to both sides of the field. Packers and Bears. I'm going to let you guys discuss this because you guys are the Bears fans over here.
I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Well, let's see. Let's start off. First of all, I was really excited. I think Justin Fields got me hyped when he started talking trash about the Packers fans. And he was like, of course they're going to be loud. There's nothing to do with it. And I was like, okay, he's going to back it up. Obviously, he didn't.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of things to consider in this game. A lot of people think it's Justin Fields' last game. However, you have to look at the roster that was out there on Sunday, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. The only receiver that Justin was throwing to was DJ Moore.
Right.
It was like Velas Jones, our like punt returner, and then I forget Taylor, the kick returner. Like there was no one out there catching balls for this guy. So the offensive line, obviously, horrible offensive line. I mean, I think the left tackle's not that great. The left guard had probably the worst game he's had of his career. It's brutal. I do believe that Jordan Love is not the guy yet. I do think he's our kryptonite, so I will say that. So I'll give him props. When that man takes the field against the Bears, he looked like Patrick Mahomes. But I do not think he is that guy, but he killed us, so I have to give him props.
All right. Why do you think he's not that guy? I mean, so he's coming in. This is his first time starting, right? He manages to take this team to the playoffs. A young team. I guess, how would you rebuttal that where it's like, this might be the guy?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have bias, right? I'm a Bears guy, so I'm thinking, like, he's not the guy. I mean, he's good, right? Like, I think we have to give credit where credit is due. Right. So, like you mentioned, I think something that's not discussed or that is overlooked is the fact that it's a very young Packers team. So he is kind of carrying that load. But we do have to remember that they have a solid defense, which helped them out a lot. We saw it yesterday. We've seen it in various games. But we also have to remember there's many games where Jordan Love just chokes and sinks his team by himself. I mean, they could have had a better record than they had, and it also could have been much worse had it not been for the defense.
Right.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
I like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, well, but they had a game. Green Bay had a game yesterday. I mean, they walked right over us. Like, I hated seeing Justin Fields get sacked. I'm like, no, what is it?
I saw one, and I was like, damn, Ralph's probably mad right now.
Oh, yeah. I was furious, but it was a tough loss.
Yeah.
A really tough loss. Yeah, there was a lot riding on both teams.
They haven't looked like the way they looked the last few weeks. The Bears, they were hot. They were coming in. They were winning these games. The defense was looking great. These guys choked. They literally choked the last game. But what does this mean going forward for the Bears? What do you guys think? Now, after watching this last game, do we need a quarterback? Do we need a new coaching staff?
To be honest, so this whole time we've been shooting, I've always had like a solution. Like, okay, they need to get rid of Getsy. They need to do this. They need to do that. But now, I honestly I'm not sure what's next. I don't know what they should do.
It's tough.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Poles is going to do, if he's going to end up trading Justin and go for Caleb Williams, or if he's going to get a new offensive coordinator and maybe stick with Eberflus because of the defense. I'm lost.
What are your thoughts?
I'm not sure exactly what to do next, but if I was in that position, I think we have such a high value pick with the first overall pick that if I'm Poles, I'm keeping Justin and I'm building around him. Caleb Williams gave me a lot of insecurities the last few weeks of this season.
That makes sense.
And I was like, I don't think we should waste this first round pick on him. So I say trade it, rebuild the team, get something solid. And then, if it doesn't work out with Justin, well, you know what? Next season, then you get a quarterback. But now you can give him a solid line, a solid defense, and hopefully, God willing, some good receivers.
Right.
So,
do you think they should take Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I would. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. I'm hoping. I told Rob if they do draft him, I'm gonna be a Bears fan next year.
Oh, really?
Nice. All right.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, sir. If they draft him, I'm buying a jersey. We're going to a game next year.
Oh my God! He's a Packers fan,
and I'm a Packers fan. But I said, look at Ohio State. I love my boys.
Yeah. I
love my Buckeyes.
That's crazy. That's great. 2 Ohio State alumni on the field.
Yep. Yeah. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I think that's I really like what you said. I think that's a solid route that the Bears can take. But we'll find out. I know that the Bears are going to have the most interesting offseason story.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone's going to be following them. Speaking of Bears and Packers, we got the next game, Vikings and Lions.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah.
It was 20-30. The Lions played very well. They did let go of some places where the Vikings ended up scoring, but Vikings are eliminated. We all knew that was going to happen. Did you guys watch the game or no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was good. I was watching it at work as well. Lions look good. Lions look like playoff ready. I'm excited to see them this weekend.
No,
I'm really excited.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped to see them.
They're hosting their first playoff game ever.
Yeah.
Good for
Ever.
them. Good for them.
We got the Lions in the playoffs for the first time hosting a game. That's exciting. I'm rooting for them. I hope they do win their first game. That'll be nice.
Best of luck to the Lions.
And then we got the Seahawks, Saints, and Falcons who got eliminated with the Bucks and the Panthers win. So sorry, guys. Sorry for your teams if they're out. Josh, I'm sorry your Saints got out.
Yeah, he was riding high on the Saints.
He was excited for them.
He was.
Did you guys see the Eagles game? Bro, they got blown by the Giants. Yeah, it wasn't the best Eagles team, but still, they got blown.
27-10. Jesus
All I saw
Christ.
was Saquon touchdown. I was like, dude.
I mean, Tyrod Taylor was actually like
He was
out there.
he was playing.
Yeah, he was.
So good for them. They won. Get to leave the season with a nice win. But now the Eagles lost their division to the Cowboys.
I know.
They just threw it out the window. Jets and Patriots game was tough to watch. 17-3 with the last quarter touchdown.
So did you guys watch the Bills versus Dolphins game yesterday?
Bro,
yeah.
what a game.
What a great game.
That was the greatest way to close out week 18.
I know.
Amazing.
Like, it
Absolutely
was so
amazing.
great. Yeah.
Bills were down the whole game, right? So then I was like, damn. I had bet the Bills at halftime. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw $100 on the Bills. Just if I lose, I lose. But I just want to ride with Josh Allen one last time in the regular season. As I'm driving, the punt return touchdown. I was like, dude, let's go. 14-14. I get home and the next touchdown, 21-14. Get the win the division against the Dolphins.
Yeah, that was a great game. No, I think when I was watching it and I saw when I saw Josh Allen struggling, I was like, it's going to be a little tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, that team shows their resilience overall. I mean, from the kick return to the defense to picking off Tua, it was a great game.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
overall.
exciting. It was just a back and forth. Then you were just like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And then just something crazy would happen. So it was definitely, that touchdown catch, the first one for the Bills, where it got swatted up, and this guy literally went to the line, dove, and caught. I was like, "Wow, this is gonna be a game."
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that the Dolphins and Bills games are always entertaining.
Absolutely.
They never fail to entertain you. Even if it's a low scoring game, it's still a great low scoring game. And Bills always come out on top. So good for them. Let's go Bills. I'm rooting for the Bills in the playoffs this year since my Bengals are out, man. My Bengals didn't make it after last week, but
I feel you. I'm rooting for the Bills as well. Like, I was upset that they were losing. I'm like, damn, I don't want to see them go out like that.
yeah.
And, we had a comment that the Bills do well against really good teams.
And look what happened.
Look what happened here. So that comment stands, how does it say? It stands to be true.
Yep, stands to be true. Let's go Bills. We're rooting for you guys. So NFC guys, the Cowboys, Week 18 win. They take first place from the Eagles. The last time the Lions won a division was in 1993. That's the stat I was looking for earlier.
Yeah.
The Bucks win the worst division. And the 49ers, we know they look amazing. We got playoffs this weekend coming up. Saturday's game, we got the Browns against the Texans. Bro, that is a game already. That's game. All these games in the playoffs are great.
Yeah,
I know.
There's not a single disappointing game. They all have a purpose that that inspires both teams to come out and just play.
Of course, it's the playoffs.
Hey, I said it wrong. But everyone has a point to prove for a specific reason. Like the Browns, they came back with Joe Flacco. The Texans, CJ Stroud is a rookie quarterback going into the playoffs for his first time. It's gonna be a difficult game for both sides. I'm sure everyone has the Browns because the Browns have just been looking on fire. But look at the Texans; they've been very great this year. It is a home game for the Texans.
Yeah.
So Texans at home are 6-3, and the Browns away are 3-5. So that's where it's interesting. That's where they kind of it doesn't make it seem like it's going to be a blowout game. It's going to be a tough game. I'm rooting for the Texans. It's going to be tough. What do you guys think?
I root for the Browns. I just like the underdog story. I love Joe Flacco coming out of his couch and just dominating games.
Yeah.
Now we do see there's a history there. Texans have faced the Browns before. Browns coming out victorious. It was a pretty high scoring game, 36-22. So that's why I do think that it's not going to be a sleeper. But I'm going to take the Browns with this one. I think they have the Texans figured out. I think CJ Stroud, although he's a great quarterback, I think the fact that he's a rookie and he hasn't experienced this yet, obviously, it's going to get to him. It's a huge, huge stage.
Yeah.
And he is going to have the support from the Texans. Home stadium. But I think it's going to be overwhelming, and that's why I go for the Browns.
All right, Lewis, what do you think?
I'm taking the Texans as well. I think I'm on the other side. I think CJ Stroud goes ahead and cements himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, even as a rookie. I do have my doubts of the Browns defense. I do think they have like struggled a little bit in these last couple of weeks. So I think he goes out there and such a high like powered offense. I think he takes the win, and I think the Texans are for real. So I think we should start taking them very seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I told him last week, I was like, the Texans are a team to watch out with the coming years. They're going to be a threat, going on into the future, because they look good. This is their first year with a rebuild, and they look great, right? They got now. Imagine what they can get this year.
Must be nice.
Add someone else. Must be nice. All right, so we're taking the Texans. Me and Lewis. Ralph, you got the Browns.
I'm gonna be watching this game,
bro. I'm off on Saturday. We could watch this game. Let's go watch it, bro. And then Saturday night's game, another great game. Dolphins against the Chiefs. We got a Tyreek rematch against his old team. It's gonna be awesome. It's at Arrowhead. Chiefs won the game this year in Germany, so it was a tough match for both teams. I think they didn't play as great. This game is home though. Chiefs have struggled at home. They're 5-4. Dolphins are 4-4 on the road, so it's tough for both of them. It's gonna be a battle. We got two great quarterbacks going at it. We'll see what happens. What do you guys got?
This is I don't know yet. I'm not sure. What about you guys?
I'm undecided as well, but I think just because I believe so much in Patrick Mahomes that he always has like something under his sleeve, so he can carry the Chiefs. But at the same time, I'm rooting for the Dolphins. I mean, their rookie running back, my God.
Yeah, he's been going off.
He's been going off. So I think they have all the tools, and I think it's a must win for them as well, because so much of the scenario around the Dolphins was they can't beat good teams.
Yeah.
So if they can do this, yeah. So I think I'm on your side as well, which is undecided.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, okay.
You guys know me. I can't take. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't care for the Chiefs. I like Patrick Mahomes. He's great. I have no shame on him. I just don't like the Chiefs. They always beat my Bengals, or they fight against my Bengals. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, just the way the Chiefs have been playing this year, I don't trust them to go far. I think I mentioned it to you the other week. I was like, I don't think they're going to make it to the bowl this year. Just the way they've been looking rough. Their offense has not been that great. Yeah, their defense is pretty good, but their offense has not been performing. They've only been depending on Rice. Travis Kelce has been having a horrible season.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm rooting for the Dolphins.
Okay, well, you know what? I might make my decision closer to the date, because there are times where, like, I wake up and I'm like, no, I don't think they're going to win,
Yeah.
But as of now, yeah, I'm pretty undecided. I can't wait to see the game, though.
It's going to be exciting. Saturday night. All right. Sunday, we got the easiest game of the playoffs. Steelers against the Bills.
Well,
I say it's easy because the Bills are just going to dominate the Steelers. But, again, it's a bad team. The Bills do bad against bad teams. We'll see what happens. But the Bills have been on fire. They just won 5 in a row. After that bye and the loss to the Eagles, they've just been on fire. They're 5-0. They beat really hard teams. They beat bad teams. I'm taking the Bills.
Let me stop you there. They hired a new offensive coordinator after that. They weren't doing too hot, and then they hired a new offensive coordinator, and they've been doing amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. They do have one of the easiest games in the playoffs. Anything could happen. Man, I want to see them win. I'm going for the Bills in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills all day. Josh Allen, again, my fantasy champion, MVP. Thanks to him. So I'm rooting for Josh Allen. What about you?
Same.
Easy? Easy pick?
Yeah.
Easy
Bills.
pick. Okay, Bills. And then we got our boys, the Packers, against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go, Packers. This is going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is going to be a tougher game than it looks.
You think so?
I think the Packers will put up a fight. I don't think the Cowboys are going to come here to demolish them. So Dallas are minus 340 favorites, so that's a big number to be favorite. But I can see this game being very close. The Packers have looked great in the last 2 weeks. And then both teams do struggle in the playoffs. We know that none of them have won a bowl. At least the Packers haven't won since 2010. So it's going to be tough. Green Bay is 6-1 against the Cowboys overall, but that was with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Aaron Rodgers is MVP, obviously. So it's going to be a very interesting game. I also like the fact that McCarthy, the coach of the Cowboys, is playing against his former team, the Packers, in the playoffs. So that's going to be like a heartfelt game for him,
right.
beating his team that he wasn't able to win with.
It's interesting that you say it's going to be a more tougher game than it looks. Why do you think? Like, why exactly do you think that?
I just have a feeling that the Cowboys are going to choke. It's like one of those games where the Cowboys probably, we got the Packers. This is easy. You know, let's just come in. They're going to come in with that mentality. It could be wrong. Obviously, it could be a blowout, 45-10 for all we know, Cowboys. But I feel like the Packers have something more to prove as far as a team. The Cowboys proved that they're great all season. But again, like we said, that they played bad teams. You know, when it came to look at the Bills game, they got destroyed. Look at the 49ers, they got destroyed. They lost to the Dolphins. So yeah, they against good teams, they've taken really bad L's. The Packers are no joke. They have a great defense, like you just mentioned. So it's going to be tough on Jordan Love as far as offense, you know, because they do have a great defense as well. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with the Cowboys because, you know, this whole time we've been shooting this, what have we called Jordan Love?
Mr.
Inconsistent.
Yep.
That's what we've called him, and I think that's going to play in the playoffs.
This is the game where he's going to come out and be Mr. Inconsistent.
Exactly. So he's been consistent. Now it's time for that inconsistency to pop up, and of course it's going to be with the Cowboys.
Yep.
How do you see it?
As a Bears fan, obviously I'm never going to pick the Packers, right? But I think, I'm taking the Cowboys as well. I do believe, I kind of am relating to what you're saying. So I do think it's not going to be a blowout, but I do think at the end of the day, Jordan Love is going to choke. And I do think he's going to cost them the game. So yeah.
Okay. So you guys got the Cowboys.
Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it like okay? So you guys say it's not going to be a blowout or anything. So you guys are seeing the game where it's like, okay, Jordan Love has the potential to win this game, but for some reason or another, you see him choking, like maybe not completing a pass or something like that. Is that
like a last minute interception or something a fumble, like something that's gonna be like a turnover, not a that he goes 35-0 kind of thing. You know, it's gonna have to be like one of those. All right, Packers are up 17-14, 2 minutes left. The Cowboys have the ball. Touchdown, and Cowboys.
Dak Prescott. Boom,
boom. CD Lamb 100-yard touchdown.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I'm excited. This game is going to be exciting as well. I'm down to watch that one if you're down. All right, up next, another game I'm excited for. Rams against the Lions. This is a QB against a QB team, you know. Both QBs against their old teams. Finally meeting in the playoffs for the first time. I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams too.
You know, I'm taking the Rams. As much as I'm excited to see the Lions be in this playoff, who has more experience in the playoffs? The Rams. Right. They just won a bowl a couple years ago against my Bengals, unfortunately. But this game is still going to be a battle. I feel it's going to be a high-scoring game, just touchdown after touchdown. Both QBs just showing what they got.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got the Rams.
I'm taking the Lions.
Okay.
So I'm going against it. So obviously I'm excited, like you said. Obviously Jared Goff coming back against his old team. Matthew Stafford coming back. Although I do think the narrative is different because Matthew Stafford got traded, but Matthew Stafford was the hero for the Lions for a long time. Jared Goff got traded 2 years into his contract. Like they sent him away and gave a first-round pick, so he wasn't there. So I'm thinking Jared Goff has a chip on his shoulder. Obviously, Dan Campbell has the Lions super motivated.
Yep.
So I'm thinking this is going to be the game that the Lions are going to like come out and again show why they're contenders. And obviously, my Bears aren't in the playoffs anymore, but I think the Lions deserve it. It's been a while. They've been playing really great football, so I think the Lions take it.
Okay, so you got the Lions, we got the Rams.
All right, and the last game, we got Eagles versus the Bucks. Who do you guys got?
This game, I'm undecided right now. Both teams have been looking okay. Eagles are 1-6 in their last 7 games. 1-6. These guys were 10-1 at one point. Now they're 11-6. That is just so crazy to me. I don't know what the hell happened to their defense, but they're not reliable anymore. This team is not reliable.
Sorry, so you could see the Bucks taking complete advantage of this team.
I really can, yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you, actually. I mean, at first I was thinking, like, there's no way. But then I remember the Cardinals game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I might be able to see it, but it's hard. It's hard to decide.
I'm undecided because the Eagles either can come out and be the powerhouse team that they are or that they were. Or I can see them really just being blown by the Bucks. The defense holds them down to nothing, and the Bucks offense wakes up with Baker Mayfield, you know? Yeah. I want the Eagles to win because I don't like the Bucks. But I think I'm going to take the Bucks, I think. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks with you as well. I do think the Eagles have not looked great. Like you mentioned, their defense is not that dominant, scary defense that it was in the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. So I do think the Bucks defense is much better. The front seven is very, very strong. Mm-hmm. When the Eagles are a tough team to beat is when their run game's going and they have the passing game. right now they can't get that run game going,
Right.
and they suffered some big injuries. I know Devontae Smith is still injured, I believe. They lost A.J. Brown at the beginning of the game yesterday.
Yeah.
So I do think if the Bucs can take advantage, Baker Mayfield can go out there, throw the ball on them, and I can see the Bucs moving.
Hell yeah.
I would never have imagined the Bucks going this far.
Right. None of us did. But they started off rough, and look at where they ended up with 4 seed. Again, their division is terrible. So shout out to the Bucs for making it this far. We'll see if he could do what Tom Brady did for them. He's got a hard shoe to fit.
That's right. So if you're a Bucks fan, you guys got a real chance. You guys got a real shot.
Seriously, they do. So that's all of our matchups. Well, with the Ravens and 49ers with the bye week. Must be nice to be on vacation for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is the part that I'm excited for. We got great games afterwards. So the winner of Texas and the winners of the Texans and Browns plays against number 1 Ravens. So that's going to be.
I said about this last week because we were saying, okay, the Ravens pretty much beat everyone, right? Including 49ers. They were the only true team that had a chance against them, and they demolished them. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? If the Browns are able to get that far, I think they can put I think they could be competition.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's just how I see it. How do you guys look at it?
I agree with you now. So now we had talked about it. They could potentially face them in 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we'll have a real battle. We'll see if the Ravens are legit and take it all the way.
Lewis, do you think there's any team here that can give the Ravens some problems?
Yeah, Ralph. I think so. I think 2 teams that I'm thinking of right now are the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. I do know that they got destroyed a couple of weeks ago.
They did.
But I do have faith that their offense is really, really good and they can bounce back. I think now with the rookie running back coming back for them, I think they should have a solid run game. So I can see them proving some challenge for the Ravens. Okay. And then if we're thinking overall, I'm thinking the Bills. I think the Bills can really, once they're hot, I don't see them stopping. I mean, Josh Allen threw 3 picks yesterday and somehow managed to come back and win. Yeah. So I can see him giving them a challenge.
Okay, I like that. I like those answers.
I like that.
Tough. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Either, again, Texans or the Browns will face the Ravens. And then at the bottom, we have the Chiefs versus Dolphins and the Bills versus Steelers. It'll be tough. It'll be nice to see Bills against the Chiefs again.
It would.
Because it's always a battle. It's always a battle of a game. They didn't prove that this year though. It was a kind of not that great of a game for the season. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited.
How do you think the Bills will go against either of these teams? I think they can 100% beat Kansas City. What about the Dolphins?
I don't know. I feel like this last night was kind of like, okay, the Bills are great. Dolphins choked a little bit. But I feel like this Dolphins team in the playoffs is going to come to play. They're going to come to show that their offense is explosive. That they are legit. They just had a bad last week 18 game, and they're going to come to play. But just imagine the Bills going all the way. Let's say Bills Ravens. That's going to be a AFC championship right there.
I know, right? That's so exciting. I go for the Bills. I like them.
I tell you, I'm rooting for the Bills. This playoff, I'm rooting for the Bills. Okay, so that's the AFC side. NFC side, we have Tampa and Philly. Winner faces San Francisco. So whoever wins is still going to have a hard game to go into. They're not beating the 49ers this year. And then we got Detroit and the Rams, and then Cowboys and Packers. The Dallas and Packers game, I don't know. I could see it could be the Cowboys just come and play like the Cowboys have been playing. But that middle game, Detroit and Rams, I don't know. It's going to be so tough. We like the Rams. We could see Rams Cowboys or Rams Packers.
I think the most 2 confident teams that I have on the NFC are the Cowboys and the Lions. Okay. But if I had to pick between either, I think the Lions. I think they're the most complete team from everyone there. Obviously, the Packers just got in. Yep. The Bucks just got in. Yeah. And then the Eagles obviously have been a little shaky. But if the Eagles remain the same, obviously they won't be there for much longer. Right. But I think the Lions and the Cowboys are definitely the most.
No, yeah, no. After seeing it like that, I agree. Like the Detroit is the most complete team here with no injuries that are that bring the team down. Yeah. All right. So who do you guys have for the final? After seeing who got to this game, who do you guys see in the Super Bowl?
On one end, I see the Ravens. Okay. Right? They're a great team. On the other, man, I don't want to say 49ers. Maybe something happens, but I feel like the Ravens I'm confident that they're going to have a spot in the Super Bowl. The other side, I'm not 100%
You
sure.
don't know yet? Okay. What about you, Lewis?
I'm taking the Bills and the Ravens for the AFC. So I think if I had to decide, I'm taking maybe future MVP, Lamar Jackson, Ravens,
Okay.
and the 49ers.
Okay. That's the prediction. That's the conspiracy. That's the prediction for this year. We'll see if it happens.
Hold on. Lewis, I got to ask you one thing. So he thinks that it's scripted. He thinks it's a whole conspiracy. Everything's predetermined. How do you see it?
Well, I mean, I've been a Bears fan for how long? I think everything's scripted because we always lose. But I can see it. I can see both sides. I mean, there's times where I'm like, it's scripted. There's no way that these things are just playing out exactly how they want it to. But then there's times where I'm like, there's no way this is scripted. Like, it wouldn't happen even if it was written. So
when Lions faced Dallas and Lions won the game for like a couple seconds, would you consider that a scripted moment? Because a lot of people are saying they gave it to Dallas, even though Lions, the person who received the ball did check in with the refs.
It's tough. I mean, I can see it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I can see both sides of why it would be and why it wouldn't be.
Okay.
So.
All right. So, yeah, the final is looking like Ravens and 49ers based on how strong these teams are. But who knows? For all we know, it could be Packers against Texans in the final. Just a random matchup. Steelers against the Bucks. Who's watching that game?
Steelers against
We'll see if it's scripted then.
Yeah, the script says Ravens 49ers. If it's the Bucks against the Steelers, you know it's not scripted. All right, so that ends our playoff talk. I'm so excited for this weekend. We are officially towards the end of the final season. It's been a real one. Do you guys have any favorite moments of the season? Like to share?
I don't have mine yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to still wait for mine. Yeah, I think as Bears fans, we didn't have much to be excited about.
That's what I'm picking right now.
So, we'll see how the playoffs play out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mine is interesting. I have just watching CJ Stroud grow out to be the guy that he's been in the NFL again. I followed him at Ohio State, so it's been nice to see him become Rookie of the Year, take his team to the playoffs. You know, and his emotion just like it gets to me. You know, like it's excited to see him win. He cares for his team. He cares for his fans. So I'm excited to see what he did and what happened for his whole first season as an NFL player.
It's a special season for him.
Yeah, I was hoping to say seeing Aaron Rodgers take the Jets to the playoffs.
Oh.
That's what I was at the beginning of the season. I was like, you know what, this is what I want to see happen. We lost Aaron Rodgers to that first injury, but I was hoping to see him accomplish just so much for the Jets. You know, take them to the playoffs, positive record.
Yeah.
You know, MVP or something. Something just crazy, but
that is still. I bet you know what. That's probably every Bears fan's favorite moment of the season. Seeing Aaron Rodgers being injured the first 2 seconds.
Some payback. Yeah, some payback for all the damage he did. Yeah.
All right, well, guys. Well, that ends our discussion. Lewis, thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate having you here. Ralph, great episode.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys next week.